emotions is to link them to actions and to meanings. So in this case, Tony's having Tawny understand exactly what she already does with her physiology, her language, and her focus in order to feel depressed. Because feeling depressed has certain requirements from your body, right? There are certain things that you could do with your body that would not be compatible with depression. And so people tend to think that they can't control their emotions, but you do have control over your body. And you can choose what we call your triad, your physiology, your mental focus, and your language, your words. And it's because you can choose your triad that you do have power over your emotions. Now, by the way, we're not talking about faking or positive thinking your emotions, all right? We're talking about understanding what you're already doing to have the emotions that you already have, and then knowing how to make small modifications and actions that will bring more fulfillment and happiness in all of your relationships. So let's go back to Tony and Tawny as they understand the choices and the patterns that are currently making her depressed, and which can be shifted to transform her life within one conversation.
When she gets tired of being sad, she gets pissed. Am I right?
Yeah.
I call this a crazy eight. She gets really depressed and tired and feels helpless, and she gets tired of feeling that feeling. I'll explain why later. And then she gets pissed, which makes her feel strong for a short time. Then she's tired of being pissed, so she goes back to connecting with herself and feeling sad again. And she gets tired, then she gets pissed. True or false? So this is a very simple pattern, and it's not unique. And she's good at it because she's practiced it for years. True?
I'm the master.
Yes, I can see that. And she's proud of it.
For Tawny, depression is a way for her to connect and commiserate with herself. However, when this depression begins to make her feel too weak, she snaps out of it with anger. This emotional pattern of alternating between sadness and anger is called a crazy eight. Many people live most of their lives alternating between these two emotions.
Especially when some guy gives me Oh, yes, I see. Let's go back to depressed, though, because it's so much more fun. Go back to depressed. Okay. Notice she knows exactly where to go. Does she know what to do to get depressed, yes or no? She would have you believe that happens to her. When all I do is tell her to do it, and she goes, okay, I know exactly what to do. Go ahead, get depressed. Get back to 9 level of depression again. Don't go to 10.
Thanks.
You nod your head when you're back to 9. Focus on what you focus on.
Is this a Freudian thing?
What's that?
Is this a Freudian thing?
I don't know. You tell me. All I know is you keep twisting that thing real tight. You rubbing it off now? Is that what you're doing here? You get back to that depression thing. Come on, get back to that depression thing. Level 8. Nod when you're there. Okay? Tell me what you're focusing on right now to be depressed at level 8. What are you picturing? What are you focusing on? What are you remembering? Specifically, to be depressed at level 8 or 9.
I don't know.
Pardon me?
I don't know.
You're not there? What are you focused on? The men that you can't trust from your past. Now, by the way, keep staying in that state. How many notice the pattern that's different with her head when she's hopeful than when she's depressed? A very simple pattern. Raise your hand if you've seen it. What does she do with her head continuously when she's depressed and frustrated? When she's hopeful, what was she doing with her head? How many saw that pattern? That's universal, by the way. What do you say to yourself to be depressed like this? Just say out loud what you're saying in your head when you're really depressed.
When people experience emotions, they are actually saying things to themselves silently. Although they are not said aloud, these language patterns have a powerful influence on our emotions. While asking her to intensify her depression, Robbins asks Tani to say out loud what she's thinking.
I'm so pathetic.
I'm so pathetic. Say it in the tone of voice you say it when you stay depressed, though.
You're so f***ing pathetic.
You're so f***ing pathetic. What else do you say besides, you're so pathetic? To really be depressed, what do you got to say to yourself? Really depressed. 9. Say it in the tone of voice you say it when you're that depressed.
I don't want to live my life this way.
What else do you say? You're so pathetic. I don't want to live my life this way. Is there a tone of voice here, ladies and gentlemen? Yes or no? Loud or quiet? Up tone or down? Cry in the voice or not? What else do you say to stay depressed at level 9? You ever get depressed at 10, like where you want to kill yourself? No?
No.
I thought we had a good suicide we could deal with here.
Sorry to disappoint you.
What the you doing smiling in? What are you feeling right now?
I'm going to kick your ass.
Notice, how fast can we take her from depression? How fast can we take her out of depression? How fast? 2 seconds. If you with her depression, she's pissed off at you. I'm sitting here being depressed, you take me out of it, I'll take you out. I'll come out of my depression when I'm ready. Everybody repeat after me. Something to think about.
When Robbins surprises her and interferes with her depression, Tani reacts with anger. She is protective of her depression because she has been using it to satisfy an emotional need. Take a moment and ask yourself, if she protects her right to be depressed by being angry, how would that affect her relationships? What would happen if someone tried to help her overcome her depression? Do you know anyone who protects his or her depression or another destructive emotion? For Tani, this is a turning point. She sees the way she uses depression, and she will look for new ways to meet her emotional needs.
So we now know what she does when she's pissed, and we know what she does when she's depressed, and she seems to snap back. Let's go back to hopeful for a second.
You got me.
You're good. You're good.
This is why you get to pay the big bucks.
That's right, honey. Now, notice, how many recognize the physiology of hopeful when she went there? Raise your hand if you recognized it. What did she do? She started doing what? Nod her head, shoulders came back, head came up. What else did she do? Start to smile. So can she go from depressed to hopeful instead of depressed to pissed if she chose to? Okay, let's get that. These are wimpy states. Have you ever had a state of pure ecstasy?
Oh, yeah.
Or is that what you're pissed about?
No. That's not my problem.
That's not a problem. Look at this big smile. That's not a problem. Good. What are you feeling now? No, don't change. What are you feeling when you're smiling like that? There you go. What are you feeling right there?
Excited.
Excited. That's nice.
In order to learn how to overcome her habit of depression, Tani needs to work on an antidote, a strong emotional state that will meet her emotional needs while counteracting depression. Robbins will suggest that she train herself in the emotion of ecstasy.
I'd like you to think of a specific peak experience. I want you to experience a peak of ecstasy. I'm talking screaming ecstasy. Can you think of... Can you remember a particular moment?
Oh, yeah.
I'd like you to go right before the peak of that moment. I want you to remember right near the peak of that experience, sincerely. Can you actually put yourself there and remember it? And as you do that, I want you to step into that image as if you were really there. And breathe the way you're breathing right near the peak.
might get thrown in jail.
And as you're doing that, I want you to focus on what you were focusing on right near the peak. And breathe the way you were breathing, see what you were seeing, hear what you were hearing. Were you making sounds at this point? Were you seriously? Okay, make that sound now. Come on, give her a hand, ladies and gentlemen. Come on. Don't put the microphone down. Give yourself the gift. My point is really simple. Instead of getting the point intellectually, get the point in your body. Because intellectually you go, yeah, I know this. Do it in your body. Actually put yourself there and feel it sincerely. And make the sound. It can be playful. I don't think there's anybody who hasn't many sounds. Make some noises of your own, ladies and gentlemen. Help her out. Okay. See what you saw. Breathe the way you were breathing near the peak. Move the way you were moving. In your body, feel like you're moving that way. Now make the sounds at the peak that you're making, some of the sounds on the count of 3. But really sincerely do it with your voice the way it really would be. 1, 2, 3, go. That's how loud you were, huh? Make the sounds, go for it.
I'm modest.
You weren't making any sounds?
No, I was making sense.
Were you really spiritual? Like, oh God, or were you more like, do me, more? There we go. There we go. So it was the do me more kind of thing. Now notice the head's moving faster now. What are you feeling right now? Stay in that state. What are you feeling right now? She's feeling so much she can't talk. Now go back to depression.
This is better.
No, go back to depression. Come on, you've been there for years. Go to depression, come on. You can't put your past behind you. Keep your past right there in front of you so you can stare at it. Maybe you don't want to put your past behind you. Maybe this past you want to put right in front of you. Because if you can't put your past behind you, in this case, I think that's a very good thing. Because if this was constantly in front of you, imagine the smile that would be on your face all day. Maybe you've been selective about which past to put in front of you or behind you.
I know that's true.
One of the weirdest things about human beings is how we get so used to limited options without questioning them. Here's Tony struggling with depression for years, but when Tony asked her to put herself in a state of ecstasy, she's totally able to do that and enjoy it to the point where she didn't even want to go back. It's pretty weird that she had that emotional option and she never took it before. And it's the case for all of us. If you're like 99% of people, then there are emotions that are important to you, that are crucial to you, that in fact you wouldn't want to live without, but in fact you don't allow yourself to feel them on a regular basis. Now that's a problem because your emotions are your life. Now before we go today, I want to ask you one question. If you had a predominant crazy 8 in your life, I'm sure you don't have one, but if you did, what would it be? What triggers it? And what emotions get fired off? So remember, the crazy 8 has 2 sides. One is more passive with emotions of sadness, depression, self-pity, right? Where basically you're disappointed. And the other side of the crazy 8 is active with emotions like anger, frustration, determination. Usually you're triggered by saying, hey, I'm fed up with this. I'm going to do something, right? So take a moment and ask yourself, what are the main emotions that you go through? Just write them down. We'll go deeper in our next session. Choose one for the left-hand side, which is, sadness and disappointment. And what is the emotion that you feel on the right-hand side? Which is more anger. And it's important that you choose the emotions that you really experience, the specific words that mean something to you. We'll go deeper into this in our next session, but until then, I want you to be aware of these 2 emotions. What happens for you to slip from one to another? What are your triggers? What are the thoughts? What are the actions in other people? You don't have to change them yet. Just pay attention over the next day.